Sit comfortably. And let your hands rest on your thighs, palms up. And knowing that your focus is going to be on your shoulders. Be aware of how the shoulders feel at this moment. What feels open and loosey-goosey? What might feel tight or constricted or even a little achy? And deepen your breath. And then bring the middle fingertip of your right hand to your heart center. And then visualize behind your finger white light. And then give it the feeling of love. And imagine that light and that feeling of love spreading from your heart center out through your shoulders, down through your arms, all the way to your hands. So that your right hand even feels like it's part of a loop moving from your heart down your arm into the hand and back into the heart. And then keeping that image of light and the feeling of love, allow your hand to rest on your thigh. And then inhaling, lifting your arms of light, your hands of light beside your ears. Prepare for mental centering. And exhaling, gather up your thoughts as you bring your hands together in front of your eyes, thumb tips in line with eyebrows. And on the next exhalation, draw the hands down to the heart, down to that image of light, the feeling of love. Inhaling, lift your hands again. Take a moment before you begin the next round to just feel for yourself what needs attention in your mind today. And then exhaling, gather up anything that feels distracted, scattered, unfocused. Inhale once the hands come together, and exhaling, draw the hands, draw those thoughts down to the heart. Inhaling, lift the hands again. Drop your shoulder blades. Let your shoulder blades be relaxed through this work. And then exhaling, gather. And then draw it down. Do this one more time on your own. And then let's chant 3 ohms together. So inhale to join. Exhaling, bow your head with humility. Inhaling, lift the head, slowly open the eyes, release your hands, sweep the legs, take the arms up, interlace your fingers, turn the palms towards the ceiling, drop your chin down. And just take this moment to notice what might be present in your shoulders, in your arms at this point of the day. What's the left shoulder blade doing? What's the right shoulder blade doing? Are you able to lift them both equally? Does one feel a little stuck? Are you able to spread the shoulder blades equally? And then bend your elbows and reweave the fingers so the opposite index finger is in front. And take the palms back up, drop the chin back down. And as much as you can, spread your shoulder blades as you straighten your arms. And then inhaling, release your fingers. And exhaling, stretch through the heels of the hands as you lower the arms. Inhaling, lift the head. Exhaling, twist to your right. Inhaling, come back to center. Exhaling, twist to your left. Inhaling, come back to center. Take the arms out to saguaro cactus. So now check that the elbows are actually at shoulder height. That looks good, everybody. And then drop your shoulder blades down. And keep your shoulder blades moving down and apart as you bring the arms in and take the left arm on top for Garudasana. Take one more breath here. And then exhaling, release. Take the arms all the way back out. Drop the shoulder blades down. And then keeping those shoulder blades spreading, bring the right arm on top. Now just notice, does this side feel easier or more challenging? And then exhaling and release and take the arms back out and then let them go. Okay, so do you have a sense of whether or not both arms felt about the same, or if one was your tough side and one side was the easier side? Okay, so if you have a tough side, right? For me, my right, your left is the challenge side for me. So for the challenge side, here's what I want you to focus on, right? Dropping the shoulder blades down, and then this is the one I'm going to put on top, right? As I bring that out, I'm going to let this shoulder blade and this whole arm move more away from the midline so that I can hook that elbow past, right, rather than here, to then get a little bit more traction between the shoulder blade and the spine. This is where we want the movement to happen, not here. Okay, so let's give it a go. Let's do it again. Left side on top. Yeah, go into it when you're ready with that focus of, if this was your challenge side, get that left elbow to go a little bit further. Oh yeah. Dragon, does that feel okay on your shoulder? Does it feel like anything is opening up? Or okay, perfect, beautiful. And look how much deeper you are into it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now press down through your sitting bones, lift up through your belly. Contract the deltoids and the rotator cuff muscles, and then spread your shoulder blades. And exhaling, release. Take the arms back out. Now, if this side is your more challenged side, you're going to focus on moving that shoulder blade and that arm more. If it's the easy side, don't focus on going further. Right? This is the easy side for me. I don't need to make it more flexible. Yeah. So we have an opportunity to just kind of break up some of that stuff, any adhesions that might be in the rhomboids or the mid traps between your right shoulder blade and your spine. And then exhaling, release. If you need a strap for Gomukhasana, gather up your strap, take the left arm up and the right arm under. Left arm up, right arm under. Yeah, there you go. And then just notice how this feels. See if you can even notice by touching your hand against your back, both the top hand and the bottom hand, where they are in the mix. And then release and change sides. And as you change sides, I want you to take stock of where the hands are in comparison to the way they were on the other side. So for instance, this is my tougher side because of the bottom arm, not because of the top arm. My top arm is in the same place it was on the other side. Yeah, exactly. You can go back and double check. But my bottom arm is, like today, it is a full maybe 3 inches lower than where the other one was. And then come on out. Ha. Now, it could be that both of them have issues. Okay, it could be that both of them have issues. So let's leave that one just like that. We'll come back to that one later. But I just want you to begin to catalog this information. Is one side challenging because of the top arm or the bottom arm, or both in different ways? All right, straighten your legs, come into Dandasana. Stretch your heels away from your sitting bones. Contract your quadriceps. Pump your legs 9 times. And after 9 times, bring the soles of your feet together and your knees out to the side. Press your heels together and Extend from the inner groins out to the inner knees. Lift up through your sternum. Spread your soles. Open your feet. And then bring your hands to your thighs. Use your hands to open up the legs. And then close your feet. Bring your hands to your knees. Bring your knees together, straighten your legs back out, and come back into Dandasana. And pump the quads 3 more times. Lovely. All right, clear everything out of the way. Kneel in Marjarasana, tabletop pose. And let's do a little bit of flow with Marjarasana. So place your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And on your next exhalation with the inner elbows facing each other, drop your head down, drop the tail down, turn your spine into a rainbow. Inhaling, lift the head, lift the sitting bones, turn the spine into a smile, and then keep flowing with your breath. And every time your head is down and your tail is down, let your shoulder blades move towards your ears and apart. And every time your head is up and your tail is up, move your shoulder blades towards each other and down towards your waist. Flow 3 more times through this Kriya. Pay special attention to the shoulder blades. One more round. Nice. And then come back to a neutral position. Lift your sitting bones up, but keep the core engaged. Keep your inner elbows facing each other. And on your next exhalation, let the entire spine drop down a little bit as you hug the shoulder blades together so the inner shoulder blades almost touch. Yes, exactly, Dragana, that's it, that's it. And then on your next inhalation, spread your shoulder blades apart from each other without rounding your back. Yes, Mary, nice. All right, do that 3 more times. Use your exhalation to pinch the shoulder blades together. Yeah. And then inhaling, spread the shoulder blades apart and draw your sternum forward. Good, 2 more times. So now the action is moving the shoulder blades towards each other and away from each other, as opposed to towards your head and then towards your waist. And then come back to neutral and curl the toes under and lift the hips up and back. Come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So lift your head, look at your hands, and just check the spacing on your hands, that your hands are underneath your shoulders in a way that's supporting the structural integrity of the bones. Yeah. And then check that the inner elbows are facing each other. If for any reason you are not inverting today and this is too much for you, you certainly can just come up and place your hands on a wall. And then spreading your fingers widely, focus on pressing down through the base of your index finger and thumb. And as you press down through the base of your index finger, lift up the inner line of your arms through the middle of your body, all the way to your inner sitting bones. And move your inner sitting bones and your inner groins back away from the index finger mound. Contract the quadriceps to draw the heels down. And then exhaling, walk the feet forward towards your hands. Bend your knees, bring your hands together. And inhaling, come all the way up and back. Exhaling, take the arms out to the sides. And bring your hands back to your heart. Come to the head of your mat. Let's do a round of Surya Namaskar. Standing at the head of your mat, bring your hands to your heart center. And then exhaling, look into your heart, bow your head. And inhaling, shift the hips forward, take the arms up and back, spread your shoulder blades. Use your next exhalation to bend your knees and forward fold. Inhaling, look up. Move your shoulder blades towards your waist. Move your sternum towards your chin. And then on the next exhalation, step the right leg all the way back. Take the right knee down. Drop the hips forward and downward. Lift the bottom of your belly. Lift your sternum. Lift your chin. But move your shoulder blades towards your waist. Exhaling, step back into Palakasana. In Palakasana, check that your hands are underneath your shoulders, that the inner elbows are facing each other. And then press down through the base of your index finger and thumb again and lift up the inner line of your legs, arms, your forward legs, and spread your shoulder blades. And then exhaling, drop the knees down and come on down into Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhaling, scoop forward into Sarpasana. Exhaling, look into your heart. Inhaling, lift the bottom of the belly, come on up into Bhujangasana. Broaden across your collarbones. Lift the bottom of the belly, draw your shoulder blades towards your waist. And then exhaling, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Once again, press down through the base of your index finger and thumb. Laura, maybe bring your hands a little bit closer together. Yeah. And then lift the inner sitting bones up away from the index finger mounds. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, step the right leg forward, take the left knee down. Lift the bottom of the belly all the way up to your chin. Draw your shoulder blades towards your waist. And exhaling, step the left leg forward. Bend your knees, bring your hands together. Inhaling, pump your quads to come up and back, spread your shoulder blades. Exhaling, bring the hands back down to the heart. So obviously you can tell we spent a little more time in the poses that require arm strength. So let's do that again for the left side. So exhaling, look into your heart. Inhaling, shift the hips forward, take the arms up and back, spread your shoulder blades. Exhaling, bend your knees as you forward fold. Straighten your legs and gaze at your navel. Inhaling, look up, create a little baby back bend. Move your shoulder blades towards your waist. Exhaling, step that left leg back. Take the left knee down. And then inhaling, lift the bottom of the belly. Lift the entire front body as you draw the shoulder blades down towards your waist. And then exhaling, Palakasana. Now, while you are in Palakasana, recreate that work you were doing in Marjarasana of spreading the shoulder blades without rounding the upper back. Keep the inner elbows facing each other. And then exhaling, Ashtanga Namaskar. Either knees, chest, and chin, or knees first, then chest and chin. Inhaling, scoop forward. Exhaling, look into your heart. Inhaling, lift the bottom of your belly as you come up into Bhujangasana. Draw your shoulder blades down. Oh, D'Annunzio, I'm so impressed at that habit you've lost of closing your chest. So great. All right, downward facing dog, everybody. Yes, nice adjustment with the hands, Laura. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, step the left leg forward, take the right knee down. And then lift the bottom of the belly, but drop the shoulder blades down. And exhaling, step the rear leg forward. Bend your knees, bring your hands together. Inhaling, come all the way up and back. Spread your shoulder blades. And exhaling, bring the hands back down to the heart. Let it go. Okay, stand in Tadasana. If you can stand in such a way that I can see your shoulders, that's great. If the camera don't work in that way, that's fine too, okay? We're gonna do a little bit of arm strengthening work. So, first one, I want you to simply extend out through your left arm and make a fist. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. All right. Make a fist. Now, look out at the fist. My tendency is always to have the fist too high, right? So make sure that the hand is at your shoulder height. And then notice what the shoulder is doing. Does it want to sort of creep up by your ear? Can you draw the shoulder down? Now, really tighten up that fist of your hand, and you will feel how that helps engage the muscles of your arm. And then you can look at your hand to make this easier. Start to make a little spiral. You could go forwards or backwards. We're going to do both directions, so it doesn't matter. Keep that squeeze, and then begin to make the spiral bigger. Let it be equally bigger so that you're not going up but barely going down. And even imagine that your arm is sort of like stirring molasses, right? So it gives yourself some little resistance that makes the muscles work more. And then however big you've gotten, stop there and then start to make the spiral smaller. So you get back into that small spiral again, going the same direction. Does that make sense? Okay. Remember, that arm is moving. I know, exactly. This is strengthening work. When you get back to the smallest point again, then it's the same thing, from small to big to small, going the opposite direction. We're only doing this once, right? So thank goodness, right? But it's interesting how effective this work can be at strengthening the arm. So from small to big, keeping that squeeze of the fist, keeping the arm moving through molasses. And then go back to small again. Ooh. And when you get back to small, just take a break. Yeah. And then feel how actually there's like more blood just going into your entire arm, fresh circulation. Okay, let's change sides. I'm doing it with you, folks. I'm doing it with you. Okay, make that fist. Check that the hand is at shoulder height. And then make a fist, move it through molasses. Start to make that small little spiral. Getting bigger. See if you have a sense of whether or not this arm is stronger than the other one, just by how it feels so far. Remember, expand equally in all directions as you're making the spiral. Give yourself resistance to work with. And then start to go smaller again. I actually really like doing this so close to a wall like I am on this side, because I can really sort of see the spiral on the wall, and I can stay more honest about getting all of my points to equally expand. And when you get back to small again, strengthen that fist even more, tighten up the molasses, draw the shoulder blade down, and then go the other direction, spiraling from small to big to small. Now we've only gone, how many directions have we gone? Both? Okay, okay. I was like, this arm's not as tired as the other one, right? Yeah, okay, so this one's stronger, right? All right. Okay, when you get back to small, let it go. Okay, so now here's the next one. You're gonna start here, fists in the hand. Check that I have a perfect view on the computer, so I know that my elbows are right in line with my shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down. Now you're gonna imagine that you're holding springs that are attached to the floor. And then on your exhalation, you're just gonna push up, straightening your arms, but those springs are really working against you. And then if you get them straight, you get them straight. And then now the springs are on the ceiling, and pull down, pull down, pull down. Really use your resistance. Oh, and then do that 2 more times. Keep the shoulder blades dropping as much as you can. Again, I can feel how my right arm is weaker than my left one. So see if you have a sense of that for yourself. 1 more after this, everybody. Pull, 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 pull. 1 last, push up and pull down. Just let it go. And just feel all of that work that you just did in your arms. Okay, so now you're going to move to where you can be at a space at the wall that's just enough for your hand, right? You don't have to, you know, it could be above a couch or whatever. So go ahead and put 1 hand on the wall. It doesn't matter which one because we're going to do both sides. Yes, beautiful. Now everybody just make sure that your hand is at shoulder height. And then draw the shoulder blade down away from your ear. And spread your fingers widely. And press through the rim of your hand. And suck the center of your palm all the way up, even into your sternum. And then without actually moving your hand, move your hand slightly upwards. And then come back to neutral. And then move the hand slightly downwards. And then back to neutral. Again, you're not really moving your hand, you're just attempting to move your hand. Now move your hand to the left and back to center, and to the right and back to center. Now what we just did was make a plus sign with the hand. So now let's make that even more fluid, right? Make the vertical bar of the plus up and down, both things happening. And then pause from that. And now make the horizontal bar of the plus sign, forward and back. And then come back to relaxed neutral. And then see if you can make all of the 4 points of the plus sign simultaneously. And then come back to neutral. And then change arms. I'm going to change arms with my invisible wall over here because I'm not going to turn my back to you. Okay. So now same thing. Let's do the plus sign bit by bit. Right? So move the hand up without actually moving it. Keep your shoulder blade dropped. Come back to neutral. And then move the hand down without actually moving it. come back to neutral. And then the left side of the plus sign and back to neutral. And the right side of the plus sign, back to neutral. Now let's get the vertical, both up and down happening simultaneously. Come back to neutral. And then the horizontal, left and right, simultaneously. Come back to neutral. Press the rim of your hand into the wall, suck the center of your palm all the way up into the sternum, and then all four directions of the plus sign simultaneously. And then release. Notice how you don't actually have to know how to do that. Somehow that cue just works magically. All right, now come back to your mat and take downward facing dog. So that work helps to build strength in your deltoids, your rotator cuff muscles, and then when you try and do all of the plus sign together, that helps to spread your shoulder blades. So now that you're here in downward facing dog, same work, right? Spread your fingers widely. Press down through the base of your index finger, the base of your thumb. Suck the center of your palm all the way up the arms, all the way through your sitting bones. And then without actually moving the hands, make the plus sign. Feel that help you contract the deltoids and the rotator cuff muscles. And then the expansion to the left and the right is what helps you spread the shoulder blades. Take one more breath. And then exhaling and take the knees down. Just rest for a moment. Just giving you a break. So we're going to do the same work, the making of the plus sign in Palakasana and a modified version of Vasisthasana. So before we do that, I wanted to just pause and give you an opportunity to ask any questions or give me any feedback or let me know if you have any pain in the shoulder joint with this work before we go to the next thing.
I mean, my left shoulder, so I have a hard time getting it to, like, downward dog, like getting it to go in and hold for very long. So.
That's okay. So it's better to just hold this effectively as long as you can, and you come out when it's time to come out.
Okay.
It's better to make multiple shorter attempts than a longer attempt that the back half of it is low quality.
Okay. That sounds good.
Feel good? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just hop in and out.
Okay, perfect. Good, good. Viva, how are your hands feeling?
I'm going to not hold it long.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good, good. Excellent. Okay, Dragona and Mary, everything good? All right, so let's go into Palakasana, plank pose. And you all know what you're doing. This is the same work we've been doing. So once you get in the pose, right, create the lift of the bottom of the belly, make sure the inner elbows are facing each other, spread your shoulder blades and work through the plus sign. And hold it as long as you're supposed to hold it. When it's no longer effective, stop, take a little break, and then maybe go at it again. Yeah, you can do this work with the knees down too. No one said you have to have the knees up. Either give it one more shot or just sort of finish up what you're doing. And then rest. Okay, so the last one is going to be the work in Vasisthasana. And for Vasisthasana, I don't want balance to be an issue or even really strength of your legs to be an issue. So I want you to do what we call the kickstand version, where you take a leg in front to hold. So balance is not an issue, opening up is not an issue, and then you're gonna make the cross, come out of it, change sides, make the cross on the other side. So I'm gonna have you move at your own pace. I'll talk you into it so you have a memory of how to get into it, and then you'll come out and do the second side at your own pace. So come into Palakasana, plank pose. Now, shift the weight onto your right hand, roll your right foot onto its side, put the left foot in front so balance is not an issue. And then make the cross with your right hand, keeping that shoulder blade on the rib cage. And then once you've engaged with that feeling, come back into Palakasana and change sides. Nice. And then end in downward facing dog when you're finished. Now, D'Annunzio, my suspicion is that that's actually a better pose for you because gravity is helping you hold the arm in. So that's a one that you can use as a strength training exercise. Okay, good. Okay, everybody. Bring your knees all the way down. And then sit and center your mind one time. And then once you have centered your mind, slowly open your eyes, release your hands, and then sit on your bottom with your legs in front of you, knees bent, feet on the ground, and let's do some chest openers to prepare for our supported Setu Bandha. Right, the opposite of everything we've been doing the entirety of class. So with your knees bent and your feet on the ground, take your hands back behind you with your fingers pointing away from your hips. So yeah, there you go. Fingers pointing away from your hips. Yeah. And bring your hands as close together as you can today. If your pinky fingers can touch, that's great. If they don't, they don't. Roll onto the front of your sitting bones and lift the bottom of your belly. Bend your elbows slightly. And then lift your armpit chest up, but drop your chin down. Hug your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift the armpit chest up, 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 up. Hold for 2 more breaths. And then exhaling, release. And locate your block and lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the ground. Lift the hips up and come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. No, Setu Bandha. Well, don't listen to me. Sorry about that. The wrong tape started playing. Lift your hips, place the block underneath your sacrum and come into supported Setu Bandha. And once you have your hips supported, if you can interlace your hands on the far side of your block, do so. Depending on the block height, that might not be accessible. If it's not, then just simply hold on to the sides of the mat, the long edges of your mat. Lift the shoulders off the ground and tuck the shoulder blades towards each other and the arms underneath you, just like you were doing in the previous pose. Deepen your breath. Lift your toes. Press down through the four corners of your feet. Lift the bottom of your belly towards your sternum. Move your thigh bones towards your knees. Keep your collarbones broad. Take 3 more deep breaths here. And then begin the 3 little lifts of your hips to prepare to come out of the pose. And then lift the hips all the way up, remove the block, float down. And then take your time to set yourself up for Shavasana. So gather up a bolster or a blanket, put a sweater back on, socks, let yourself be comfortable. We actually have a 7-minute Shavasana possibility, depending on how quickly you lie down, right? That's like a 25-minute Shavasana for me, right? I am notorious for short Shavasanas, sadly. And as you lie here, let's do a little adjustment, self-adjustment for the shoulders in Shavasana. So first, just make sure that your arms are at a 45-degree angle from your torso. So there's plenty of space, no tightening around the neck and the top of the shoulders, no tension in the armpits. And then starting with your right arm, externally rotate your right arm so that your palm turns even more up towards the ceiling and the thumb side of your hand is closer to the ground. Once you've done that with your right arm, then press the knuckles of the back of your right hand into the ground. Pick your right shoulder blade up, your right shoulder up, and draw that right shoulder blade away from your right ear and away from your spine. And then just let it relax completely. Feel the difference between your right arm and your left arm. And then go through the same process with your left arm. Rotate it externally so the thumb side of the hand comes closer to the ground. And then pick your left shoulder up and draw that left shoulder blade away from your left ear and away from your spine. And then just notice if there's any final adjustment to be made around your shoulders. Allow your exhalations to be longer than your inhalations. And let these longer exhalations help you drop the body down into the earth. keep your body calm and still. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Deepen your inhalations. And then exhaling. Bend your right knee. Place your right foot on the ground. Do the same with your left. And then roll over to your right. And then bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. With your hands at your heart center. Let's mark the end of our time together by chanting 3 soft ohms. So inhale to join. Om. Om. Exhaling, bow your head with gratitude. Inhaling, lift your head. Slowly open the eyes. Release your hands. Namaste.